chosen career path will fall under the umbrella of forensic psychology. I became interested in psychology after working as a hairstylist for 10 years and getting to interact with many different kinds of people. I have always been fascinated with crime and criminals and why people act in deviant ways. Combining my love of people and crime, a career in forensic psychology seemed like the most logical career for me. With a PsyD or PhD in forensic psychology, some career options I could consider would be in private practice, correctional facilities, court systems, mental health centers, universities, or law enforcement agencies, to name a few. Private practice job duties would include clinical counseling for crime victims or general counseling. Correctional facility job duties would include assessing and screening inmates, providing treatment services, group therapy, anger management, or stress management. The services could also be offered for police officers or correctional officers. Court system duties would include evaluations of defendants, determining if defendants are capable of standing trial, determining if defendants qualify for an insanity plea, serving as an expert witness, or jury selection. Mental health center job duties would include group therapy and counseling, individualized counseling, or assessments. Law enforcement agency duties would include criminal profiling, hate crimes, violent crime predictors, interviews and interrogations, and confessions. University job duties would include teaching as a professor in psychology, serving as a guest speaker, or counseling for students. According to the U.S. Department of Labor and Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average annual income median for a forensic psychologist with a PhD or PsyD is $59,440. The top 50th percentile could earn as much as $77,750, and the top 10th percentile could earn over $100,000. Although it's possible to obtain some jobs in forensic psychology with a master's degree, it seems that from all my research, a PsyD or PhD is the best option. It opens the door to so many opportunities that a master's degree simply cannot. Most forensic psychologists will receive a PsyD or PhD in clinical psychology or counseling psychology, and then continue on to earn postdoctoral training and specialization in forensic psychology. According to careerprofiles.info, careers in forensic psychology have been steadily growing over the last 20 years. Careers that focus on research, clinical, or consultation are projected to increase the most in the next 10 years. Careers focusing on education and juvenile crimes are also expected to increase. Some undergraduate courses offered at Central Washington University that could be helpful in preparing some for graduate school and a career in forensic psychology could be clinical psychology, abnormal psychology, criminology, cognitive psychology, social psychology, and introduction to law and justice. Clinical psychology would provide an overview of psychological diagnoses, treatments, and ethics. Abnormal psychology would offer knowledge into mental illnesses, behavioral issues, and related treatments. Criminology focuses on crime in adults and criminal behaviors. Cognitive psychology would help make sense of the way people process information. Social psychology would provide insight into group mentalities, individual behaviors in groups, and individual behaviors among society as a whole. And finally, Introduction to Law and Justice would offer a solid foundation of knowledge of the legal system and laws. There are many opportunities available to gain added experience related to forensic psychology that could help gain employment in the future. Interning or working in law enforcement agencies could allow first-hand experience in the criminal side of forensic psychology. Many law enforcement agencies offer internship opportunities. Professors and psychologists are always looking for aspiring, knowledgeable individuals to assist them in research jobs. Applying for or accepting a research job with a psychology professor is a great way to gain experience as well as find interesting articles and information about the career of forensic psychology. Correctional facilities are also a great place to volunteer and gain hands-on experience behind the walls of local prisons. According to the Department of Corrections for Washington State, there are opportunities to help with chemical dependency, mentoring, education, re-entry activities, and so on. It can be difficult to find volunteer or internship opportunities in rehabilitation centers due to patient privacy, but there are programs designed especially for aspiring therapists like rehabcare.com. It could be a great way to experience group therapy sessions and rehabilitation methods. The biggest gap between higher education and skills required for a career in forensic psychology is that there aren't many specialized degrees. When researching graduate schools, I only came across 3 I would be interested in: one in Denver, one in Rhode Island, and one in North Dakota. I recently interviewed local forensic psychologist Dr. Brendan Schultz. From talking with him, I realized that he impacts the community most by assessing criminal defendants and providing education evaluations about where he believes they should be placed, whether in prisons or mental health facilities. Forensic psychologists also provide rehabilitation services and assistance for criminals re-entering the community or crime victims. Like I said, I interviewed local forensic psychologist Dr. Brendan Schultz, and he provided me with a great amount of insight into this chosen career. While I would prefer to end my education with a master's degree, Dr. Schultz stressed the fact that there are not many options available without a doctorate in psychology. Critical thinking, confidence in your work but not arrogance, ability to set boundaries in regards to courts and lawyers, and the ability to take constructive feedback are, according to Dr. Schultz, the most important traits in an aspiring forensic psychologist. Although the findings from the U.S. Department of Labor for average annual income was around $60,000, Dr. Schultz, having many years in the industry, estimated the average annual income to be closer to $75,000 for entry-level psychologists.